With so much content whizzing around out there, there's only one storytelling platform that helps you keep calm and stay informed and inspired: Flipboard. Flipboard curates the world's stories so you can be smarter in your work, life, and play. Choose from thousands of topics to personalize Flipboard and get the latest stories from the best publishers and experts delivered to you 24/7. When you see stories you want to save or share, tap the plus button to add them to private or public collections. It's that simple. Used by millions of people every day, Flipboard is how people move themselves and the world forward. Get started now at flipboard.com. It's the E-Commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news, with your hosts Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-Commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's E-Commerce Minute for April 6, 2018.
In today's episode, Bolt Zero Fraud Checkout.
Bolt is a startup that wants to give e-commerce retailers a better shot at competing with Amazon in the checkout experience. Checkout mechanisms are complex. Retailers layer tools associated with payment processing, payment gateways, and fraud detection, in addition to the checkout experience itself, which has to handle calculations like coupons, loyalty, tax, and shipping fees, which creates fragmentation. The checkout experience isn't great. When you click checkout and it goes through the payment step in online shopping, there are actually dozens of different underlying tools that power that, explains founder Ryan Breslow in an interview with TechCrunch in January. Breslow continued, "The insight we had at Bolt is that the more fragmented this space comes, the worse performing online retailers become, and the more market share Amazon is going to gain." Bolt solves this issue with its new checkout platform designed to optimize the experience by bundling all the tools retailers need under its roof. This includes a speedier checkout page that uses techniques to boost load times, like pre-processing at the front end, so code and elements are already loaded, instead of having the site redirect you to a new page that loads from scratch. The checkout page also reduces the number of fields customers have to fill in to complete the purchase, and that's something that contributes to cart abandonment. Bolt also doesn't offer the choice to continue as guest or log in at the beginning of checkout, which Breslow says leads to a 40% drop-off because customers second-guess their decision. Instead, Bolt offers post-checkout registration. Customers can sign up for accounts after the site captures their payment. Bolt also doesn't require customers to enter their billing address, a fairly radical shift from how online payment processing works today. Breslow claims that the billing address requirement, a generally accepted means of reducing fraud, is actually fairly useless at doing so. It does things like track where the mouse is moving on the page, whether someone is copying, pasting information into the fields, whether they're making typos, how fast they're typing, and many other factors. By analyzing customer behavioral patterns, Bolt says it has a better shot at stopping fraud than just asking for the billing address. In order to assure its customers that they can trust Bolt's fraud detection, the company covers 100% of fraudulent chargebacks. Bolt also incentivizes retailers to switch by agreeing to match the processing fee of the merchant's current provider. Combined, Bolt believes its speedier checkout, A/B-tested checkout experience, and fraud detection will give its clients the ability to better compete in the world where Amazon's one-click checkout dominates. How about that?
How about them apples?
So we've seen a lot of these features in some of the checkouts that we've designed. These guys put it all in one tidy little package.
Yeah, for the most part, they're right. I mean, the billing address doesn't really matter. The zip code will do just fine, so people are taking that off. I mean, it's really dependent on the credit card companies and how they're looking at it. There's probably systems that do all this fraud stuff and you can score it. I just wonder how protected they are and what the compliance on this stuff is for them.
I didn't dig that deep, but they are, they are refunding any chargebacks, which is, I guess, isn't that a pretty bold move? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's pretty confident. But to try it out now, right now, a lot of their customers are just trying the software. They have 100 retailers that are now working with it in different phases for their end-to-end solution. But to test it, you have to literally turn over your whole checkout over to them. And I think a lot of people would be hesitant to do that, don't you think?
No, actually not really that true. Because if you're thinking about Shopify already has it. I mean, you can customize
good example.
anything.
Right.
Any international one will have it too. Something like Borderfree takes over the checkout. So there's definitely ways of doing it, and I mean, it really depends.
So who's their main competition?
It's all the fraud stuff. So you got your authorize.net, then you do the Signified, whatever that is.
Right, Signified or whatever that is.
What it is. All those kind of ones. Let's see. Platform support is free for limited time. Save $1,000 integration fee and $900 a month for support fees. Don't apparently match your current rate on payment processing, which is really, really interesting. Without proof of lower rate, default processing fee is 2.930 cents. That makes sense.
They boast so it's what's a percentage per transaction, but they claim using their software can generate a sales boost of anywhere from 10 to 50%.
10 yeah, I mean, because it's found revenue, right? So it's not the right. So they're taking away, they're basically, instead of doing like all these hops between all these services, they're wrapping into one, which makes sense for them,
right?
So
they say 10 to 50%, but it's a wide range because some clients check out worse than others.
Yeah. I mean, you're competing against a lot of different things, especially on the mobile side, because with Apple Pay and Android Pay now too. I mean, for me, that's a faster checkout process than anything else, right? You don't have to type anything; it's done and done. So we'll see how it does.
Yeah, they just put Google Pay just came to Shopify, so I mean they're still innovating over there.
But fraud is fraud obviously is a huge problem. So, I mean, the more companies try to solve this problem, is the better.
Yeah. What's the saying? All the boats rise in the ocean, or some phrase like that.
All the boats rise in the pile of
right. Something about boats. It's early in the morning. It's really
eggs,
early.
Boats. And
I'm on the
carts.
Coffee 1.5. All right. If you want to check out, Bolt, they're at bolt.com. All right. Anything else, Bart?
Yeah, I think you should go check out our white paper of New Rules of Retail at newrulesofretail.info.
All right, listen to the man. Go to newrulesofretail.info, download our free white paper, and as always, our show notes are ecommerceminute.co. And if you have a Amazon Smart device, just look up how to add us to your flash briefing. We'll also add that in the show notes as well. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe, or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion, or just want to say hi, find us on social media at Sumo Heavy.